Welcome everybody to the Metal Cell podcast. You were just listening to Fraud, and that is a track off their new EP or album. I'm not sure. Is it an album?
It is long enough for an album. We call it an album.
We call it an album. It's called Splitting Tongues. So I'm delighted to welcome my co-host Danielle. How are you?
All good, all good.
And the star of the show tonight is Rodger Boyle from Curse Monk Records.
That's the one. Thanks for having me, guys. Pleasure.
Welcome, dude. It's been, I'm really looking forward to it. The last time I saw you was in Cork, actually.
Of course, yeah.
Was that Ritual or was it Urban Assault? Which one?
Ritual. I wasn't down at Urban Assault. So, yeah, working a merch stand, I believe.
That's correct, yeah. That's right, yeah.
That was good crack.
That was a deadly gig, yeah.
Wasn't it?
Yeah.
Fuck me, that was some lineup that day.
Ohms were on that day, weren't they?
They were, as far as I believe.
They were, and the Crawling, because I interviewed both.
Yeah.
Yeah, they were before Ten Ton Slug. Yeah. What a band. What a band. It was deadly.
Mm.
Yeah, Jesus Christ. I think that was 2018, lads, was it?
2019.
Was it 2019?
Yeah.
God almighty, it's fucking crazy, man. That was
2018. 2015 it feels like.
It actually does, yeah.
So, as I said, it's great to hear a new track off Fraud, who are commonly known as Drought. Mm-hmm. Shout out to Dave and Garrod. They appeared on the show a few months back. And how did they come into your sights, Rodger?
Pardon me. Got an email off Dave and just kind of went from there, really. Do you know what I mean? Back and forth, set me on the demo, blew me apart.
Yeah.
Or not the demo, but you know what I mean, the album. Blew me apart and signed him straight up. And I didn't realise that they were Drought because I'd never seen them live, you see. But I remember looking up Drought when I was at work, skiving on the internet. I was like, these lads look fucking class. So it was lovely to get the shout.
And they're like, they're such a band that have got such a great reputation, but haven't played that many live gigs.
Yeah,
they're very word of mouth band. But like when you just hear two tracks of theirs off, like Dismal Grin and Plague Trader, you're just like, fucking hell, it's something I can't wait to see live. Do you know?
Yeah, It was Alex that actually put me in contact from Alex from Tombs.
Okay, really? He was the contact.
Maybe you should consider signing this band because they're amazing. I was like, fucking yeah, sweet, man.
Jesus Christ, that's mad. That's interesting. Now, but sure, look, the Irish metal scene is small enough anyway, so, word of mouth gets around sometimes more so than social media, doesn't it?
Oh, big time. Yeah.
100%.
So, let's start from the start, man. Curse Monk Records started in 2017.
17?
Yeah, nice one. And like, what was the reason for starting it up?
I still am doing Rory of Wheel, and I was on a few labels and they were all pretty good. One or two, not so much, but most of them were class. And I kind of figured that I'll do it myself, I just press the CDs myself and all that kind of crack, and I'll make up a label. So when I send it for a review, it'll look like it came from a label.
And were you a collector the whole time, Raj?
How do you mean collector?
Collector as in vinyl and CDs and cassettes, your own collection?
CDs, yeah. As I was collecting CDs up until, Jesus, what year was it? I was in third year in college.
Right.
So it would have been 2008 or 9. And I had about 1,500 CDs all in a big mad bookcase. Because it was easier than bringing all the shelves up to, up from home. And then some lad broke into the house and robbed every one of them. Stole them. Yeah.
All of them?
Yeah, well, they were all in one big case, you see. So he just came in and swiped my mate's DVD collection and the hard drive.
Fuck.
So that was the collection gone.
Oh, man. I don't think I'd recover from that.
That's very rotten, right?
Oh, man.
Yeah. I still have all the shells, though. I'll fill them with CDRs one of these days,
Yeah. That's a bad one. I'm still fucking buying CDs. I still have a massive CD collection.
If people weren't buying CDs, they don't buy me making them.
Yeah. So I actually bought Nomadic Rituals CD today.
I seen that.
There was only 2 left. I just panicked. I went, fuck, there's only 2 left. Bang.
Don't blame me for buying that. Don't blame me for that.
The rubber seal at the back. Is it a candle seal or something at the back? And that a really nice touch.
A wax seal.
A wax seal, yeah.
Whoa.
So that's all the lads. That's the lads made all them CDs by hand, and the plan originally was for I was to distribute the CDs for the lads, and there was another label on board to do the tape. But unfortunately, the other label had to pull out. So I was like, "Fuck yes!" So I stepped up to put out the tapes. So I'm doing distribution and release of the CDs for the lads, and then just the tapes are Curse Monk. So all of that lovely, lovely stuff they do with the CDs is all the buys. But yeah, there's a wax seal in the back of it.
Yeah.
The work they put into their releases it's second to none, man. It's unbelievable.
It's a really cool novelty thing as well. I enjoy that.
You feel bad opening the fucking thing. That's the thing. What you get it in the post?
But see, I'm not going to fucking open it. I'm that type of dude.
You're just like, one day this could be worth like so much money if I don't open it.
I have a Blind Illusion. They're a band from America.
I know, that Plato used to be in them, yeah.
Yeah, that's right, actually, yeah. I have a sealed CD, Japanese import of The Sane Asylum. It's worth it's worth around 380, 400 quid now.
That's class. And The Sane Asylum is such a good album, man. Like hearing Les play Trash is just...
Yeah. Because I had it on LP and I had it on, I think it was cassette, maybe at the time. And this trader was selling it back in the good old days of eBay. Yeah. And I bought it off him for, I think it was around $50, just because it was a Japanese import and never opened it, kept it. So,
happy days.
Not that I'll ever fucking sell it anyway, you know what I mean? But it's just, just one of those things, you know?
Yeah, but it's cool to have.
No more than Nomadic Rituals there now. I'm not going to open that and just keep that seal there. That'd be cool.
Yeah.
So you released Year 3 compilation.
Yeah. I'm going backwards.
That is a serious selection of songs. Like Jesus Christ.
That was a tasty year.
Yeah, I only recognized Gord, obviously.
Nice Gord as well, yeah.
Yeah. I can't even pronounce this. Chasm Dweller, is it?
Chasm Dweller.
Yeah, brilliant. Old Worms.
Yeah. Unfortunately, they split up, but quality band. That's
The Road and Red Widows are the 4 bands from Aegis. Went fucking hell, these are fantastic.
Yeah.
Did you listen to it, Danielle? Yeah.
Yeah, I listened to a few bits on it. Yeah, but Gord I would have recognised from. Was it from? It wasn't Richard of the Evil Eye. Was it from?
They played Urban Assault.
Yeah, and I enjoyed him a lot. 2-piece.
Gorder, amazing. Yeah. Gorder is the Gorder Luxury Modest could have been the first release I put out on Curse Monk that wasn't me.
Right.
So I love Gord there.
And who's in that band? Is it Hick? No,
it's Hick and Ray. Yeah. You know Ray from Wreck-It Hespers and Beneath the Sod.
Yeah, I know those bands as in, you know, I wouldn't know their stuff, but I've heard of them.
Yeah. So Ray would have been the drummer for Hespers, and then Beneath the Sod is his own project. And he's in a new funeral doom band, Bacterium.
Jesus, man, how do you remember all that stuff? Like, fucking And I came across then an interesting project as well. I'm wondering, is it you? Is it Dr. Bastard?
Yeah, that's me, Dr. Bastard.
Man, it's class. I love it.
Cheers.
It's really good. Is that just yourself, is it? That's it?
Yeah, it's just me.
And I love the first song is called Doctor, the second song is Fucking, and the third song is Bastard.
Fantastic.
Dr. Fucking Bastard. It's the only thing I could have done for the part, you know. I'm looking forward to working on the second one. But.
Yeah, and how do you judge the reaction to it, Rog?
I didn't really do any promotion for it or anything. I just threw it up on Bandcamp for the crack. That's all.
No, I love it. I think it's really good, especially the last track, Bastard, is excellent.
Yeah, it's a weird one. I don't know how to describe it because it's got metal elements, more so like industrial metal elements, but then it's like funky disco stuff too.
Yeah, it's kind of...
I don't know, like disco industrial.
Revolting Cocks as well, I'm hearing.
Yeah, it'd be a pretty big influence to Revolting Cocks.
I love them, man. They're fucking great. So, as I said, like you were collecting music, and what point did you kind of go, fucking hell? I know you were a musician, obviously, as well, but what point did the collector go to the music label?
Oh yeah, so with the Rory stuff I was making, I decided that like I was just going to press it myself instead of having to try to go through labels, because you know, when you get like a cut of 20% from a label and you get like 5 or 6 tapes, do you know that kind of way? I just thought, fuck it, I'll do it myself, you know. And I said I just put it under Curse Monk, so when I send it to reviewers, they might pay more heed to it if they thought it came from a label, right?
Yeah, very good.
It's a very cool name. Really cool name.
Yeah, it came from a review of a Rory gig. They were saying, oh, he's like a cursed monk spouting blasphemy. That'll do me.
Yeah.
Do you know what I did for the crack, right? You're going to die laughing at this, right? So I just typed in, right, Curse Monk, right? Yeah. And what did I... Curse Monk interviews, that's what I put in, right? And then this came up, right? It's a book series, right? And it's called The Maggie Newbury Mysteries, right?
Lovely.
Right? And there's this passage in this book, right? This is typical me being a fucking nerd, but anyway, I'll read it out. So, as he stepped into the elevator and faced the waiting room, he noticed a man in monk's clothing. Was he there because of Dupree's case? Meanwhile, as he rode down the elevator, Rodger cursed the fact that he had handed this investigation over to Gerard. It's all there.
Weird.
It's all there in that
now
paragraph.
we know that. Now we know the true place where Cosmo came from.
Fucking spin it so it's dash. That's for sure.
Isn't that unbelievable? Like
that's wild.
The whole lot is in it, man. Rodger, and the guy's name is Rodger. Like,
what's the name of it?
It's Maggie Newbury's Mysteries, Book 12.
That's going to be on your Wikipedia now in years to come. It's going to be like, that's where it came from.
Look at the t-shirt.
Stop. Speaking of the t-shirt.
It's deadly.
Oh, lovely.
Yeah.
The artwork is so cool in that.
Who's the shout out to?
Krill is his name.
Okay.
K-I-R-I-L-L. He's a Russian artist. Amazing stuff. I found a picture of his online years ago. I used to have it as a profile, and I got onto him about it. Like, can I use this for the label? He goes, nah, man, that's a band's. Sorry, but I'll make you a new one. Like, oh, fucking sweet. So I use him. So
cool.
Yeah, thanks very much. I use him mostly, and then for the font, Kieran from Carosa.
Of course I do, yeah.
So Kieran does all the font work for me, which is class.
Very good. That's good to hear that, man, actually.
Nice combo.
Yeah. We'll just say now, right, so if you don't mind, just list the steps, right? It took from going from the bedroom to getting to your audience.
Making a Facebook page.
Right. First of all, always helps.
But basically, as soon as I did that to make the whole thing look more legit, because I didn't think anyone would pay any heed. And then I started getting submissions. And then one of the submissions was from Wheat Priest.
Class.
Savage.
It is, because they were huge band. I mean, the lads in Galway went to see him every fucking month they played, you know?
Yeah.
So I was just delighted to get to hear the new album.
Yeah.
You know? But I had finished teaching, and I was getting my last month's paycheck, and it was going to be maybe 1,500 or whatever. And I was like, well, I just put it out. They want final and stuff, and sure, will we go from there? And will we try it, you know? Mm-hmm. Because fuck it, I was on the dole at the time. This was coming in the following month. Will I just take a chance? Took the chance, and that's basically the main step. So once Wheat Priest were on the label, more people were like, "Oh, I know that band. Let's check out this label, or let's throw submissions in." And then it was just kind of a snowball of just putting stuff out and then just learning off the hop, really.
Yeah. Because you'd figured out how to press your own CDs.
Oh yeah, well that was handy. I just got onto a duplication company.
Okay, so you didn't have to do that yourself then? No.
Luckily, I have a CD pressed now. I haven't used it yet. Okay. I got it from work. They were throwing it out, so fix that lad up.
Class. And what about kind of artwork and covers
for the albums? That's the bands. So I offer digital graphic design if they need it. Okay. But other than that, the artwork is just it's for the band to do. I'd be happy to do it for them. Wouldn't pay for it because we're very much the artistic intention of the band is what's most important.
Yeah, but like that's what I'm saying. Just the inlay sleeves and all like that. You look after that, is it? And again, is that in-house or do you farm it out?
The printing of it is farmed out.
Yeah,
the
it is farmed out as well.
Yeah.
Okay. Jesus. Okay, so Weed Priest was the first one to. Jeez, you're
Someone
kind of,
to get.
That was a great bit of luck to start off with them.
It was. So the way it went, there was 2 Rory albums. Then there was a Gordon Luxury Modest tape. But they had got onto me after the Weed Priest thing, because with vinyl, it takes 3 months to press vinyl. So Weed Priest were the first one to come in. But the first release was Luxury Modest Gourd because of the timeline on it.
Yeah. Okay.
No, but it was mighty to get him. It was.
In fairness, though, I think the name like really helped you there, because I think like Weed Priest on Curse Monk Records is just, it sounds amazing. And like even when I first heard it was Tombs, I first heard Curse Monk Records, and it's, to me, I was like, Jesus, that sounds like a serious record label. Like it's unreal. It definitely it adds so much to it.
Well, thank you very much. And it's great to get to sign more Irish artists, because
it's amazing.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to putting out more Irish stuff, because when you're starting out and you're coming up, there's not a huge amount of point, because we all know the same people. So we'd all be trying to sell to the same people.
Yeah.
Whereas now that there's a couple of years under the belt and I have kind of roads and inlays made with more international audiences and whatnot, now I can get Irish bands to international audiences. You know, that kind of way?
Exactly.
Yeah. It's great.
So for today, for instance, we just signed Motor Bear. They're
class. That is great news. I'm like you, kind of, sometimes I get the benefits of the job. Like, it's like get stuff sent, in demo form, and I got that whole album of theirs in demo, and it's fucking outstanding.
Sent it to me yesterday. Andy did. It's class. Yeah,
it is class, man. That's great news. Jesus Christ. And what would be your best-selling act so far?
It depends on the format and whatnot. I think CD, probably Old Worms.
Okay.
As we did a second pressing of that.
And vinyl.
Pardon me?
And vinyl?
Oh, vinyl. Just I don't know. I'd have to do the numbers, because we did Nest on vinyl, Geist on vinyl, and Weed Priest, of course.
Yeah.
But Nest and we did Shallow Grave. Okay. But the Geist release was me and Geist put it out, and then Nest and Shallow Grave were collaborative efforts between me and other labels. We all pitch in and then we all put it out. Whereas Weed Priest was just me, so there was 300 of them released, whereas I might only get 30 or 40 copies of the other ones.
Yeah.
Weed Priest, I'd imagine. Like, I'd have to run the numbers on it. But.
And are there a few people that buy all your stuff the whole time? Is there certain buyers there?
Yeah,
that just,
which is great.
And they keep the record label afloat then as well.
They certainly do.
Yeah, they just buy
everything that you put out. Thank God.
Incredible. Yeah.
I know, fair play to them.
Yeah, I mean, that takes a lot of stress off you, man.
Yeah.
They're like the locals in the local pub, isn't it? You can be guaranteed to be in every night for around 5 or 6 pints.
That's perfect. They do change kind of year on year, which is nice. You'll get collections of people buying everything, and then they might drop off, and then you get more people to come in and buy everything. There's been a few there since day one, which is lovely.
Yeah, but you're being very good as well, man. You're always offering discounts, and buy one and get one for 50% off the next one. And it's great to see that. Like,
well, thank you.
So would you say then that Curse Monk Records provides a platform for musicians within the underground that are often overlooked because they're not established on the live circuit or couldn't be bothered with the whole social media thing? It's like there's almost an underground, like.
I certainly hope so.
Yeah.
There's been a few acts who really, really hate self-promotion. And I don't mind spamming the shite out of every Facebook group going. So,
yeah.
I'm happy to promote everyone.
Yeah,
I was asked by it was actually Motor Bear that asked me if I would do PR work for him outside of the label. And I was just like, well, why don't you just come onto the label? Yeah. So luckily they said, all right. So,
Because that is fascinating, because like we're all aware of the Irish metal underground, but then there's another layer below that again of bands that create music, a bit like Rory as yourself, like that.
Yeah.
You know, sometimes won't even necessarily tour it.
Yeah, it's true. I mean, the ones that know all love playing gigs. You know, I don't have any like real super duper introverted, just bedroom acts on the label. I wouldn't say no to it, but I just
What about drone? Like drone would be hard to portray live as well, wouldn't it?
Well, yeah. I mean, it depends where you go. I mean, I've been lucky enough in Ireland to get like Wheat Priest used to put Rory on a lot. But then in saying that, like I've played, you know, opening festivals in Vienna, closing festivals in fucking Belgium, and, you know, I got to support Bellwitch. So there's a big scene for it in Europe.
Yeah.
And often a lot of like the underground noise acts and drone acts in Ireland would play more in England than places in Europe. And there is a scene for it. It's just Ireland's so small that, like, I mean, Mikhail, I can't think of the man's second name. He runs the Resonance nights in Ireland, and they're amazing. Like, there might be some nights there might be a lot of people there. Other nights it's just the artists, and it's really, really just like you're showing off your new skills for the other artists. And it's lovely. It's class.
Cool. What about Golgotha? Shane, have you heard of Shane?
No,
It's
He's deadly.
It's brilliant. Yeah, it would be dark synth wave. You know,
lovely.
So check him out. He's doing it all by himself.
Yes.
He's doing a great job of it too.
Yeah.
Savage.
And when we were trying to figure out would it work live as well?
Oh, definitely, because like he's similar to Carpenter Brute. I don't know if you know Carpenter Brute, and like, I went to one of their shows over in Barcelona, and it was this unusual mix of moshing and dancing, and it was class. It was so much fun. So yeah, I think it would definitely work live.
Savage.
Yeah.
I mean, like, No Other Tongues work amazing live. You know, and it's just the one dude, you know.
Yeah.
What's his name?
No Other Tongues is the name of the act.
Right.
Your man's name, it's slipping me at the minute.
Okay.
There's Perpetrator as well. Similar enough to all that kind of synth dark metal kind of stuff. Dark synth, it's class.
So you find your acts then mainly, is it through word of mouth or through submissions?
It's 50-50. It's more like submissions, and then if I find something online, I'll approach them. I'm happy enough to approach lads and say, listen, I can offer you this. Do you want to come on board?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Like, just on submissions alone for the Metal Cell podcast, and these are just European and American, it's just overwhelming. It's impossible to sit down and listen to them. Oh my God, Jesus Christ. And I'm not blowing my own horn. You know the crack, Rory. It is fucking nuts. The amount of submissions. Obviously the Irish bands get priority every time, you know, but 100%. The stuff there, I don't know how you do it. You know, you'd want to be doing it full time to actually dedicate a certain amount of time every day to listen to maybe 5 or 6 acts.
I mean, that's kind of the what's the word?
Nature.
The silver lining of lockdown is I'm stuck at home. So
okay.
And to make it your full-time job, you know, that kind of way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And what are the qualities then you look at an act before approaching them or signing them?
If it grabs me, really, I don't have any kind of like set out criteria of, you know, it needs to sound this way or whatever. It's just if I listen to it and it's like, fuck, that was cool. And then listen to it a few more times and it's like, yeah, I have to work. I have to see at least if they'll work with me, because at the end of the day, like, I do all the PR. So if I'm not really, really digging it, then it's going to fall flat. It's for me trying to get it across how much I like it, you know, kind of way.
Yeah.
There's been 1 or 2 bands that come in and it's like, yeah, I could see that making money, or I could see people really enjoying that, but
not for you.
Not going to sit with the, you know, exactly, yeah.
Yeah, I liked your like slogan as well, like the darker and the weirder the better, kind of, you know, it's so cool.
Yeah. I'm enjoying making the compilations now. So we had year 3 came out last night, I think.
Yep, that's the one we were listening to.
Year 4 was on New Year's. So I'm doing 2 and 1 or the next ones. But it's lovely to re-listen to all the albums and just, you know, pick the tunes and try to do mixes of the tunes. And it's a nice little cavalcade of weirdos.
Obviously, the majority of your acts don't necessarily need a big budget to get their stuff out. And you're kind of promoting it then into kind of a niche market as well. So what are the challenges in relation to that?
Promotion wise, I mean, I've been lucky enough that I've built up relationships with some reviewers where I can give it to them through their Facebook Messenger, basically, and have a discussion or a conversation with them about it. And so at least I know they'll listen to it, but whether or not they'll review it, sure, it's so subjective that who knows, you know?
Yeah.
And it's always, I mean, the people who are reviewing and people who are, you know, the people that you need to get to for the PR, like as you were saying, with the Metal Cell is overloaded with submissions. Can you imagine what it's like trying to be an album reviewer?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's challenging, but I mean, not so much in anything else. You know, we do the same for everyone. We just do our best for them.
And what kind of budget then?
For PR,
do budgets change for different bands in relation to releases?
No, what we offer is, we used to offer releases of 100.
Okay.
About 40% going to the band. What we started to do now is 50 with 40% going to the band, just because financially it makes more sense and I have more space in my house and not just boxes of CDs. So what we offer is a person of 50 CDs or 50 tapes, or if we can do vinyl, happy days. The band gets 40% of the physical release for them to sell on their own. We don't have a kind of we need to make this much money before we give you anything clause, because no need.
Right.
And that's basically it. Do you know what I mean? That's, everyone gets the same. Everyone gets the same level of PR. Everyone gets the same release. We have a buy-in clause because like 40% of 50 is 20. And 20 CDs mightn't get you very far if you're going on tour. So if a band wants to buy in, they can buy in, bring the balance up to a pressing of 100 or whatever.
Okay.
You know, during the pre-order sale or during the pre-order stage, if it's selling a lot, we'll up the pressing, obviously, to meet demand. But the buy-in option is actually proven very popular, which is, because you always feel like a bit of a dick saying, well, we'll put out your album, but you know, you can give us money, and you feel like an arsehole. Yeah. But at the end of the day, it's
still a business for you, man.
Well, this is it, exactly. And, you know, we offer the same, it's the same percentage cut on the original 50. They bring the balance up. So it works out at the band getting 70 CDs at an investment of €90, and then, you know, pay for shipping, things like 20 or 30 quid. So when you take that into account of, say, €90 for 70 CDs, $10 a CD, you know, at 700 quid, it makes sense for the band. Yeah. And then to have someone do PR for them, and then
there you go,
not have to pay for pressing themselves.
Yeah.
So that's proven more popular than I expected it to. So that's nice.
Would someone like Toombs
looked
at that?
Yeah.
How pleased were you with the reaction across the board with that album?
Yeah, very pleased. Very pleased. A lot of people picked it up. A lot of people liked it. It'd be something I'd love to put on vinyl if the finances were there, but
I'd like to buy that in vinyl.
Yeah,
of course you would. Of course you would.
My question is, what color vinyl though?
Black. All the other ones are too dear.
I can paint it myself.
Good man. That it actually leads me into the next one. So, digital cassettes, vinyl, or CDs? What's your preferred choice?
To put out or to listen to?
Both, actually.
To put out, it's got to be vinyl. Like, if I can, because that's like the daddy of releases. Everyone fucking wants it. And, do you know what I mean? And they're vinyl. Personally, for me, listening, I think CDs. You know, I've always been a CD man. The systems, they're class, expensive. You know what I mean? Yeah. But I think my hearing is too fucking shot to enjoy the frequency differences. You know, that kind of way. CD, just nice, something that's nice and loud will do me.
Yeah.
You know?
But like digital is so popular as well, isn't it? It really is, and it's
I imagine
very little trouble involved in getting that out.
Yeah, honestly, the amount, like, everything I listen to now is pretty much digital because I'm listening to it through iTunes or whatever.
Yeah.
I buy CDs, like, it's for the artwork, really, isn't it? You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I love listening to
true.
CDs. If we're talking physical format, it's got to be CD, vinyl tape. But I mean, the reality of it is it's all digital now. Although in saying that, I don't go onto Spotify or any of those.
Yeah. You're the opposite then. You're always digital.
Yeah, I'm always Spotify.
Really?
Yeah, Spotify, Bandcamp.
She's a bit younger, Rory, you know?
Yeah. I got a vinyl player recently enough, so but it was a present, and I've kind of gotten into the craze a little bit now of vinyl too. But my first port call is always like my phone for Spotify.
Yeah.
It's handy, like, but I suppose it's tougher now because I'm listening to a lot more underground stuff, and as you were saying about the underground, you won't find that on Spotify. So Bandcamp will generally have it. So between the two of those, really.
Yeah, I love Bandcamp. It's
savage.
such a good resource. Yeah.
Like, you'd wonder what the effects, like, kind of social media and streaming has on music sharing and consumption. Like, I mean, like, we're going to be left behind, Rory. Also, you know, old school lads with the CDs and everything like that, you know.
Yeah.
But like fans, like, aren't just experiencing music. They're involved in the whole process now of promoting bands as well and getting the word out there by listening to their stuff on, as Danielle is doing there on Spotify, and sharing it. And, you know, you can take a song from Spotify and put it up on WhatsApp group and go, what do you think of this? And you're going, fucking hell.
Yeah, 100%. People can start adding it to their Spotify playlists, or it's a great resource. I've just never had any luck with Spotify.
Yeah, like, it's in, for example, someone put something up on Facebook one day, and it was Acid Bath, actually, Richie, and cool. I looked at it and I was like, that looks like something I'd like. Like, it looks like something I'd like, and I started listening to it and became obsessed. And that's, again, just somebody just sharing it, not even saying anything about it, just been putting it up. And I was like, oh, that looks like something I would like. It makes no sense. Like, it looks like something that would sound good.
Yeah.
And it does.
Yeah, it does. It sounds great.
Like, isn't it just mad though, the way it's gone that way socially, that bands can get to way more people just by someone going into Spotify, taking one song, posting it up on Facebook or WhatsApp group that gets shared amongst maybe 10 or 20 people, and then suddenly you're off and running then. Like, it's mad. Yeah,
it's like YouTube, I suppose. You know, if someone has a big enough YouTube subscriber list and they throw up an album or whatever, you can get, Jesus, bands have toured off it. Like, do you know what I mean?
They have, actually.
Yeah, sure enough.
It's true. Jesus Christ. Like, I mean, especially, like, what was it? Howard was saying that they released a split single with Suits there. And off the back of that, they got a load of tours. You know? You know, just off a single, you know, again. But if that was 10, 15 years ago, it would have been a total different story. Who would have got the single? Who would have, you know, it would have been just local lads that would have known about it, and that's it.
100%, yeah.
You know? So, like, how good are you on social media? Did it take fucking ages for you to figure it out?
A little bit. I'm still trying to figure out Instagram. To be honest with you, I'm not fucking very good at Instagram.
Instagram is a walk in the park in relation to Twitter. I can't.
Twitter's very far down the line for me now. Yeah. Basically, anything I put on Instagram, it automatically shares on Twitter, so that'll do me.
Yeah. You can do that. You're just like me. I do have a Twitter account, but it's a whole different ball game.
Yeah. Twitter's more like political and commenting, really, isn't it, rather than getting music out there, really.
Yeah, I mean, I'm handy enough at Facebook. I'm full time on Facebook, which is nice because, you know, it's older people on Facebook now. They might buy CDs.
They have the money to buy CDs.
Exactly. But I was doing that for the Rory stuff before I did Curse Punk, so I was already annoying people in Facebook groups trying to share stuff around. So that was handy enough.
You'd wonder, like, no more than for the podcast and for your record label, Rory, how effective could something like Twitter be You know, I don't know. I genuinely don't have the fucking time to explore it. I mean, Instagram is perfect for me in promoting because you can link it into Facebook, you know. So you do your 1 minute promo clip of what artist is coming up next week, we'll say. Yeah. And then, you know, take a few clips off the interview, then you can put it on your socials and walk away from it, you know.
Yeah, and this whole Facebook business manager thing where you can do it all from the computer now. Yeah. So I've been doing a lot more Instagram now that I can post it from the computer. I was just always shy to doing it on my phone, you know. But I really think I'm going to take a stronger look at Instagram down the line. At the minute, I'm building the Curse Monk or YouTube account, so that's
cool. Yeah, I noticed
that on my plan.
I found I got way more of an audience through Instagram than Facebook.
Yeah,
simple as.
Yeah, Instagram is kind of quicker, like, isn't it? It's just a photo with a small caption, while sometimes Facebook you have to kind of really put up something long and things like that, I think.
And you've got the tags as well. If you get the right tags on Instagram as well, it always helps.
Yeah.
Like, if you sign an artist tomorrow for Curse Monk Records, right, what happens next? Say, right, okay, we've got something ready. We've got maybe 5 songs ready.
Okay.
What can you do first? So what time process now, we'll say?
So we can take Tombs as an example.
Good. Okay.
So I seen Tombs at Walpurgis Night. I believe it was 2018. 2017, 20. I think it was 2018. And I was doing a merch stand. And just doing running the merch stand for the event, but then having a little Curse Monk thing. I think we had like 3 or 4 releases at the time.
Okay.
And Tombs blew me away. They were playing Stoner Doom and Blast Beats. And I was like, fuck yeah, I want them on the label, right? So I got onto the lads the following day, asked them if they'd be interested in putting something out with us. And they were like, yeah, we don't have acting yet, but fuck yeah, we want to put something out with you. And I was like, cool. Then it was 2 years later before the lads had stuff ready, which is fine. That's how long things take. You know what I mean? Yeah. So basically, once someone wants to work with me, happy days. I'll wait as long as it takes, right? Once they had something ready, once they had the album ready, they sent it on to me. I had listeners like, yeah, still interested, of course, brilliant. I had review my list, my release list, see when I can fit them in, because I try to do one a month just from a financial point of view, just handier, you know, and from a promo point of view. Sometimes I've done 3 or 4 a month one time. You get confused and like some band gets left a little bit behind and you feel like a dick forever.
Yeah.
So it's easier to do it the other way. Then once they agree to the release schedule, happy days. There's a 8-week pre-order period that'll come on before we decide the release date. I do all the promo on that period, try to get the money for the pressing back as best I can. Because once the album is released, people tend to buy from the band rather than the label, which is understandable. And that's basically the whole process.
Right.
You know. So for like Molar Bear, signed them today. Listened to the demo last night. It's amazing. They haven't recorded or anything yet. So whenever the lads are ready, there's no rush on. Never a rush on my end. It's you know, we try to be as artist based and focused as we can. You know, we're here to work for them.
And what are the things that stress you out, put you under pressure?
Zoom calls.
You're playing a Stormer tonight. Anyway, so there's no worries there.
Not really. I mean, at the very start, before I knew kind of the ins and outs, you know, if I wanted to do something, I'd have to run it by the band first, right? Which is fair enough because it's their work. So now everything that I'm going to do label-wise for the band is discussed with them at the start, so they know exactly what's going to be hit, when I'm going to hit it. You're not kind of way. You're going to be shopped around on YouTube. Your album's going to be put on YouTube channels. Your album or their video will be uploaded on my YouTube channel. Blah 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 blah. Yep. So the band will go, yeah, cool, happy with that. And after that, there's no real stressor because everyone knows what's happening and when it's going to happen. Do you know?
I think have you 27 acts roughly, or be 30 even?
30, I think.
Yeah.
Thereabouts. Well, I it could be, yeah. It might be 30 releases because there's a few, there's a few aboard and Chasm Dweller and stuff like that. So.
Again, a lot of them would be international bands from America, Italy,
Korea.
Exactly. So how are you communicating with them lads? Is it through email again, or do they need the Zoom call, as you call it, or
I do it all on it starts out email and then generally Facebook, or just Facebook Messenger.
Right. Okay.
I don't think I've ever talked to any of the bands I don't know personally, like face to face. So.
Really? That's amazing, isn't it?
Madness.
Fucking hell.
One of the days. It'd be nice to sneak up with them when I go to see them live.
This is me. You're on my label.
Exactly.
Oh, Jesus. Tell us about your musical background then. Were you self-taught?
50-50. I went to lessons playing the bass. Like I went to a few lessons with a handful of them. And then I started spending the money on more nefarious things and stopped going to lessons. Basically my friend taught me how to do power chords on a guitar. And then he taught me how to just do root notes on a bass. And then I just went from there, basically. So mostly self-taught, I did music for the Leavens for 5th and 6th year. So got a nice little bit of theory there, that kind of way.
That'll do.
Yeah, it was grand.
And Daniel is a drummer, aren't you, Daniel?
I don't know if you'd say I'm a drummer now because my kit has been at home for years, and
you got to roll that out for one episode alone.
100% have to get back behind the kit. But yeah, self-taught as well. No one in charge would give a wild 15-year-old lessons. So. But yeah, it's something I have to get back to. But
listen, if you get the drum kit out, I'll get the bass.
Get the bass out, yeah.
Dust it down. I still have the Marshall amp upstairs. It's a beauty, the Marshall amp. Oh.
If you get the drums out, you'll be hounded by bands looking for drummers.
I've been told that.
To work,
Yeah, everyone says that the drummers are impossible to get.
Yeah, 100%.
Jesus. And so what was your first band then, Rory?
The first
I keep
band
calling Rory or Rodger.
Yeah, Rory is just the project name. So come Rodger.
Sure.
Yeah. First band I was in was called the Goons. That was good crack. Kind of a grungy teenage band. So it was a lot of fun with stuff from my mate Ronan, James, and I. Then there was I was in that with
Say
Jeff,
that again, Rog, you were just breaking up there.
Oh, pardon me. I was in a band after the Goons called Oral Ammunition.
All right, okay.
There was Jev from Crowback Chicken was the drummer.
Ah, Jesus Christ, no way. I know Gev very well.
Jev's sound. And then after that...
Where was that? Where was he living at the time?
Clonmel.
And where are you from?
Clonmel. Well, outside Clonmel.
Oh, Colin's from Clonmel, is he?
Yeah, so myself, Jeff and Colin were all in the same year in school.
That's ridiculous. I never knew that.
That is gas.
Yeah.
How many musicians came from Clonmel? Fuck me. That is nuts.
The place is fucking miserable, so I have to do something.
Jesus Christ.
Deadly.
Go on, keep going.
Yeah. Then after that... I think the next band I was in after that was the Nudgeburns, or a punk band. And I was with the Nudgeburns for 2 years, and then we split up, and then I was in Play Dead for Me Jenny. A great band, but we never made it outside of the rehearsal room. We did belted tunes, but we just preferred fucking get stoned and play in the rehearsal room, to be honest with you. But then after that, I didn't play for years. I did Stoned Crow, which was an industrial metal thing I just made on my own. Then I was in Stone Carver a good few years after.
That's the first band I'd recognize. Yeah.
And then after Stone Carver, Noosed. Did Rory, but Rory isn't really a band, kind of. And and
Relic, is it? Was Relic another one?
Yeah, Relic is a drone metal kind of side project. It's it's just myself doing the Relic.
Yeah.
And then I'm also it's just London Phil's Harmonica Orchestra. is another one I do.
And that's another solo project.
Yeah. It's basically a noise project, which is just all harmonicas, and then samples of Phil Mitchell from EastEnders when he's bangers.
Oh my God, that's a classic. And then, of course, then there's Dr. Bastard as well.
There's Dr. Bastard, yeah. The new and
fucking output from you is unbelievable.
Man, you're like a schizophrenic with all the different solo projects.
A little bit, yeah.
I was listening to News, actually. That's pretty cool, man. Grinds, crust, noise, and it's anti-racism, anti-fascism, and anti-oppression.
Yeah, 100%.
Cool.
It's very, very, very anti-racist. Because fuck that noise.
And who's Mand?
Mand is my soon-to-be wife.
Ah,
congratulations,
Amanda.
That's Amanda Gray's here. Yes.
Yeah, I was like, this doesn't look like an Amanda.
And what instrument does she play?
Amanda, she does vocals on a couple of the tracks, and then she does some samples.
Right. Okay.
So she'll be handling the samples when we do it live, but all the rest of it is just myself.
And that album is called Rise.
Yeah, Rise is the new one, and then there was Butcher before that, and then She of the Woods, and then the first, which is a demo, the self-titled one.
That got really good receptions. I read a great review on it.
Rise and Butcher both got class reviews. The other two were demos. People liked them, but it was just such a quick output. I mean, I did the first one in August 2019, would have been the first demo. The second one in October. And then this time last year, I was doing Butcher, and then Rise came out. Yeah, it's quick enough turnover. I mean, like, the first demo was done in 2 days. The second demo was done in 12 hours, start to finish. Butcher was done in 2 days. And then a little bit of tweaking afterwards and samples and stuff. And then Rise took a little bit longer. Rise took, I think, 2 weekends.
Jesus. And how do you separate each song? I mean, like, we'd say what's creatively wise in your head.
So how I do the Noose Crack is basically I'll program the drums in Easy Drummer. So I'll have the drums programmed, and then I'll write the riffs on the guitar. So it's quick, grindy kind of punk riffs. The guitar, the bass, and then the guitar twins the bass. So they're both doing the same thing. Mm-hmm. And then, I'm enjoying some beers as the day goes on when I'm writing it. And then I just kind of unload into a microphone at the end of it when I'm langers, and then throw some samples over it, and we're done.
But it makes it sound so easy. Just like, whatevs.
If life could be so easy, Jesus Christ. I mean, so Dr. Bastard obviously is following that whole
ethos. Yeah, Dr. Bastard
ethos as well. Like,
because Dr. Bastard it's easier to make a bit, because I take a drum pattern for Dr. Bastard, and then everything is based off the one drum pattern. So we'll have the drum pattern, and then we put that through use a different kit for it, but one that's not made of traditional drums, and we'll overlay them, then use that MIDI pattern, and then we'll just find lots of different instruments that can be done with it. So, like, let's put that drum pattern through a piano or a gong or a fucking xylophone, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And we'll just keep layering them, see how that sounds. All right, that sounds weird. Let's throw that through like a distortion pedal, blah, 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 and just keep building it like that, like Lego, and then see what you come out with. And then, like, all right, let's take the kick drum, let's just isolate the kick drum, and then do it instead of each one, we'll say split it in half, and then put that through a subwoofer, and then see what happens. Then layer that in.
Jesus Christ.
So, and that's Dr. Bastard. It's good crack. Yeah.
And
you're like a mad scientist.
It isn't. It's unbelievable. So definitely you're keeping on top of software as well.
Yeah, I threw a bit of money behind Logic, because I used to do all the Rory stuff was done in Audacity, which is free.
Oh yeah, sure. Christ, yeah. That's troublesome at the best of times, Audacity, I found.
Yeah.
That's insane, man.
I got to a point over the years of kind of knowing, I wouldn't know the big ins and outs of it, but I knew what I was able to do with it, and so that was handy. And then I was chatting to Ray from Gord, and he was saying, I make the Beneath the Sod stuff on GarageBand. It's class.
Yes.
And I was like, whoa. I have GarageBand, so let's give that a go. And I was getting good results. And then I was like, well, sure, fucking Logic is basically GarageBand, except with way more shit. And it's 200 quid. So let's just throw some money aside for a few weeks and buy Logic and then fuck around with that. And that's basically where I am.
It's really impressive.
It's all pricking around with Logic. I've got some pedals and all that for, record into Logic through them and whatnot. But yeah, it's basically just Logic and then the in-house, is it VSTs? The amps.
Yeah. Rory benefited from Logic, from the journey. Like Rory was like 10 years ago, wasn't it? Was probably the first demo.
So yeah, the first demo that would have been -87, which came out in 2010. But that was a collection of circuit bent sound stuff I was doing in college. So I used to do a lot of circuit bending, and then that album was a collection of tunes I'd made from the circuit bent toys and all I'd made. So I did that for college. Then after college, I was like, oh, let's put this on the internet. So I think I was Cottage 53 for the next 2 years. And then in 2012, Wheat Priest got onto me. They said, oh, we found you on the internet. Your stuff's fucking strange. We'd like you to open up a show. At the first Walpurgis night, actually, in Galway. I was like, hell yeah, I'll do it. But I didn't know what to call myself. I was like, I just got an art degree, so I was trying to be the artist. And I was like, oh, well, Rory O'Boyle, it's just my name in Irish. So let's do that. Galway, Yeah. So that was a blessing and a curse.
I know how many attempts we've tried to pronounce Bogle or fucking...
I know. It was funny. One of the albums got good airplay in Japan, and listening to the guys pronounce was fucking hilarious. But so the name was a bit of a blessing and a curse because no one can spell it, no one can pronounce it. But at the same time, for what the music is, it kind of worked well too. But either way, so I got to shout off Wheat Priest in 2012, named as Rory, and then went from there. So I think the actual Rory stuff, that album Walpurgis was, because I'm playing Walpurgis now, but that was a week as well, I think it took to make that. But that was, yeah. But yeah, so that's where the Rory stuff came. So really, 'tis 10 years next year. But the whole fucking around, messing sound experiments will be 10 years last year.
Yeah. I mean, but like Parish Law got fantastic reception.
Yeah.
Really well done as well.
I was happy with that. That was the first one that was done kind of pretty much entirely with electronic instruments, synthesizers and Logic and stuff. Because all the other Rory stuff is done outside of like drum samples or whatever, or gong samples. It's all done recording something handheld. So like recording yourself scraping a wall or fucking blah blah, and then bring that into Audacity and fucking with it and trying to find sounds within sounds and then composing pieces from these things you find. And,
I love the way someone described it as Rory creates dusky pathways along his eerie surroundings.
Yeah. Not wrong.
The Walpurgis album literally scared me because because I know you're going for the kind of horror vibe, and I can't watch a horror movie because I'm a big scaredy cat, and I was literally just like, God, this is it actually it inflicts emotion on you, like you're just kind of like, Jesus, I'm on edge.
Did you listen to it on headphones? Yeah.
No, I listened to it on this soundbar.
All right, Jesus, I listened to it on headphones. It was fucking worse again.
Jesus Christ,
seriously, claustrophobic.
I'd love to know what you think of Hill Witch. I think that's the most horror movie-esque tune I made. There's a nice shot, man. You must have to listen to it. It's on To See Without Eyes. It's on the third album. Give that a go, see what you think. That's horrible.
It's horrible. It's horrible. It's great. And I'm not surprised you said it was big in Japan, because when I was playing it, my husband, who's into like the Silent Hill games, was like, oh, that sounds like some composer that did the Silent Hill games. And he was Japanese. So
happy days.
Yeah. So that's a big compliment.
That's a big praise to be. Yeah.
It is. Yeah.
Wouldn't that be cool though? Did you ever approach anybody for soundtrack music? No.
That's the dream. That's really the fucking dream. Like doing a soundtrack in a movie, like scoring a movie or soundtrack in a game. Would be top notch. I don't know who to approach, basically, but that's what I want to do with it. You know?
Yeah. I mean, you did a fantastic job then on the video for Soothsayers Out of
thanks very
Fringe.
much. Cheers.
Love that tune.
How did that connection happen?
Don't know. To be honest, no. Liam and Con got onto me and said they'd. I think I was drunk telling Con I did videos one night in Cork. Then he got onto me, asked me if I'd be still interested in doing. If I'd be interested.
But obviously, they're big fans of your stuff anyway.
Yeah, I do all the background visuals for Rory, so I think they've seen the visuals and liked that.
Yeah,
I think. I know I was definitely Langers talking to Con, bigging myself up one night. So. But yeah, I'm really glad that the lads liked it. I'm working on the next one for him too, for War of the Doves.
Oh man, that's one of my favorite songs.
Great tune. I've been working on it because they're very patient with me, in fairness.
They're patient dudes anyway.
Yeah, which is class. It's hard to get, the few minutes to sit down and work on it. So they've been waiting on it for a while, but hopefully they like it when it comes. Yeah.
And I was just saying it, I watched It's a Wonderful Life, and that film, I don't know, was it made in the 1940s? But that scene in space with the stars, I was just going, Jesus, if Rodger ever gets on the podcast, I'm just wondering, that suddenly appeared in Soothsayer, where it's funny the way things work out. What was your thought process when they approached you? Did they give you the song first, obviously, or had you an idea done and then you went, oh, that would fit nicely with the song? No,
they gave me the song, and then I said, do you have any? Have you got a brief or just write me what I'd like me to do it? And Conde, he was like, he gave me a couple of ideas, and he said, no, basically you've got free reign, so try to incorporate these few bits and pieces if you can. That's what it is. He said basically just make sure that nothing can get us sued. Everything is not copyrighted. I was like, yeah, I can do that.
Jesus. And what program did you use to get the video?
iMovie.
What's it called?
iMovie.
iMovie, okay.
Yeah. You're an Apple man, so.
I am indeed, yeah. I've got a laptop, so I try to do everything with it.
Yeah.
Jesus. So then, apart from everything else, you decided then to do a podcast as well.
I did, yeah.
The Cursed Cast.
The Cursed Cast, yeah. I had a failed outing with that a couple of years ago. I did 3 episodes and I just stopped. And then...
I remember you contacted me, actually.
Yeah. That was about the one, the new irritation of it? The new version of it.
Yeah.
It's so fucking hard to sit down and get the time to just do it because you have to do 3 mixes and blah, blah. So I collected all these fucking interviews from other labels last March, and I've got 5 episodes, so I have to get back onto them. And it's like, listen, do you want to update the interview? I don't know. But it's a lot of fun doing it. I used to do a radio show in England in 2013. I used to do it from Ireland, but it was on Basic FM, broadcasting art, sound, and independent culture. I used to do it on Circuit Benton. So finding bands that did circuit bent music, and that was that. So it's nice to do it again. I fucking hate presenting it though. I'm getting used to it, but it's really weird sitting there just talking to a wall, and trying to sound natural and whatnot. And, I much prefer just making the mixes of tunes and presenting it, presenting the tunes rather than me talking. But I'm getting used to it. And the more I get used to it, the easier it will come, How do you find
100%.
that?
That's often the hardest part. I've stopped, we'll say, at the moment it's handy with all the Zoom interviews. There's no real need for me to introduce somebody on the show. But because we'll say, for example, tonight now we'll have Fraught and we'll have
Nomadic Rituals.
So I can't fit in another band on it. But we'll say, for example, if I was interviewing a band with just one song, I'll definitely put in another song or 2. And that's then where the editing will come in, where I'm talking on my own, so I'll have to script it.
Yeah.
And
how do you find the
pain in the holes?
Isn't it?
You sound so enthusiastic.
Yeah.
it's hard to write to force because I used to do a radio show as well in college. I used to do one with another girl, 2 viewers and a mic, but then I did the mosh pit by myself.
I'm fucking sure I've heard 2 viewers and a mic.
2 viewers
Or
and a
at
mic,
least
yeah.
heard of it. It rings a big bell, all right, yeah.
yeah, 2 viewers and a mic, but mosh pit was by myself, and you're just like, and next on the show, we've got blah blah with blah blah. You're trying not to sound like K-Rock or something like that, like, you know.
Trying to invoke your Tony Fenton, you know what I mean?
Yeah. It's mad. Jesus Christ. Yeah, I'll be doing the podcast now 2 years in March. Fucking crazy.
That's wild.
Yeah.
How quick the time goes. And it's leaps and bounds. Like, it's a very, very listened to podcast. Congratulations.
Yeah, I think it just developed. Thank you. It just developed organically, really, you know.
It wasn't forced, like it's because it's good. It's because it's good. It's doing well, like, you know.
Yeah, you're giving the Irish Underground a voice, and it's really important work.
It's another part of the whole fucking process. You know yourself, man. You're trying to promote bands, and that's ultimately what we're in it for.
Yeah,
you know,
exactly.
And to see how far we can go with it, and there's so many great bands coming through.
It's shocking.
It's just unbelievable. It's unbelievable, and that's the whole purpose. Again, you're kind of going. When I started it, people were just going, "Oh, you're going to run out of people to interview after maybe 20 or 30 episodes." And no, I don't think so. You know, there's just so many great bands, and even as we're talking, like, there's another few releases coming out again. It's like, going, holy shit, like, it's mad.
It just keeps coming, you know.
And people genuinely don't mind that there's a few people coming up on the show maybe 2 or 3 times, like the Con Doyle, like Sandy Clark, you know, they're all interesting anyway, you know. So long may it continue, man. And
long it will, I'm sure.
Yeah,
you know?
100%.
You know? And like I always say, like, the world cannot survive without music, and Curse Monk is there to bring some of the darker music, the darker, weirder music to the Irish metal scene. Long may it last, Rog.
Ears open.
Yeah.
So what we're going to do is we're going to see out the show with Nomadic Rituals.
Lovely.
Class.
And what did you think of the album anyway, Rog? Did you enjoy it?
Nomadic Rituals one?
Yeah.
Nah, shite. Terrible. No, man, it blew me away. It blew me away. Like, I have known the lads for a good few years. I've played gigs with them before, and I've always been a big fan of their stuff. And when that landed when Craig got onto me to send me the album, I was have to put it out. Yeah. Hopefully, we're in talks of releasing it on vinyl. So, fingers crossed for that one.
Yeah, I had the pleasure of seeing him play with Elder Druid up in Belfast for the album launch in January last year.
Oh, very nice.
Class.
Yeah, they were fantastic, man.
And the first time I seen them, I was opening the set in Galway as Rory, and then I was opening their act, so I played twice in the night. I opened up their set. Great crack. They filled the fucking cellar. Have you ever been in the cellar in Galway? Small little...
Yeah.
So they
that one purpose actually there.
Oh, lovely.
Yeah.
They filled the cellar with, you know, the dry ice smoke and whatever, so it was great. Couldn't see nothing. But man, I'll never forget it. I was sitting at home in my flat about 4 hours later having a drink, and all I could hear was what the fuck is... Oh, shit. So, yeah, they made a lasting impression, you know.
Cool. So the name of the track is Tumulus?
I think so. I'm not great at pronouncing
Tumulus. Jesus, yeah. You and me both. And it's off Tides, and it's on Curse Monk Records. Rodger Boyle, thank you so much for coming on the show.
Thank you for having me. Thanks a million.
Fair play to Daniel, as usual. Fair play. Thank you as well for coming on. And we'll see out the show with this great track. It's a great build up to it, actually, isn't it?
Oh, it's tasty.
Oh,
Yeah, it's
it's
tasty.
amazing.
Another 3-piece from Northern Ireland, man. What is it with that, like?
You know, Belfast as well. You know,
Sick.
the ring on his base. Oh, and 2 lads regret when we get that.
That part there reminds me of another band that's wrecking my head. I can't think of what it is.
When it started blasting everything.
someday.
I hope so.
That might be really good. We got Facebook Live or something with the guys playing the full album. Finish live. Look at the thing.
Class.
There we go.
Yeah.
That is so cool. That was Nomadic Rituals. Shout out to Craig, Peter, and Mark. You can get the album. It's called Tides on Curse Monk Records. Again, thanks a million, Rodger, for coming on the show.
Thanks for having me. Thanks, lads.
Cheers, Danielle. Hit that subscribe button on the Metal Cell podcast and see you next week, I suppose, with more metal. Cheers, lads. Thank you.